Hi there. I'm happy to introduce my class. This class is called Email English, uh, and it's also about journal writing. So it's actually related to business writing in English, and also I have a free writing component to the class. So basically, students have some structured writing that they can follow, that they can, there are actually exercises in the book, this Email English book here, that are very useful, extremely helpful. These are all examples that can be applied in the real world. For example, working for a trade company, a lot of students have to do correspondence with customers, and this book is very good for that. So I give the students some time to prepare for a quiz every week. There's a quiz on each chapter. There are only 2 pages actually per chapter, so it's not overwhelming. It's not too much information for the students. So that is, appealing to the students, and it makes it doable for them. The other part of the class, or sorry, let me finish up with the Email English. Answers are in the back of the book. Students can see those, and what's the point of doing exercises if you can't check answers? So they can see the correct answers and keep those in mind for the quiz every week. And then the quiz is just exactly from the book, so that's easier for students, and quite achievable to get decent marks on the quiz. So the other thing in the class is my journal element to it. So as far as journals go, let's see if I can find that. I actually have one from a student right here. And so here we go. So this would be an example of someone's journal. Students can write pretty well by senior year. They have fairly decent writing skills, but obviously still have some mistakes. So what I'll do is go through and make corrections to the writing. I'll use my red pen, circle everything, and go ahead and make sure students know what the mistakes are and what they need to be doing as far as subject-verb agreement, paragraph construction, of course, spelling of words, etc. Yeah. So that's basically what I do in the class, and hopefully students will, keep a notebook, check their writing every time that they do a new page, and then they'll check previous mistakes and can be aware, exactly what they need to improve on. And, as we all know, everything is a matter of habit and being exposed enough times to something. And then once you do that, it's okay to, you remember it basically. It's been said that we need to be exposed to a new word 10 times before we maybe remember it. And, as far as these corrections go, I often see the same mistakes over and over again from a student, and I point it out and I say, a very common one is like subject-verb agreement. So for like he, she, it, and then we have third person, we have the verb. We need to have an S on there. He goes to school. It thinks that's a problem, whatever. So this is probably the most common mistake as an example. And generally, I will point this out to students over and over again. Sometimes if students are too rushed and they're not carefully trying to write correctly, I will just hand the paper back, hand the notebook back, and I'll say, please, you need to look over this again, check it. A big one also is tense. So they'll often just write present tense, and writing in past tense is harder, obviously, and they'll often forget the verbs that they need to use, the forms of the verbs. So I'm often correcting those. But sometimes, they won't put any past tense verbs in at all, even though, of course, they're talking about something in the past. And at that point, I will say, okay, here, take this back, put in all the past tense verbs, bring it back to me, and then we can talk, right? Then I'll really look at it because you need to at least make an effort to do that. That's basically the class, and this kind of writing class, I think, has the best of both worlds. There's a real structure to it with the book. There are quizzes, going on every week. There's a quiz. So students are learning proper business writing, and they're also having a chance to work on their personal writing as well. Free writing, we call that, and able to actually have feedback, in the class, so I can tell them, well, this is wrong, that's wrong, and I'm circling with my red pen and showing them what the correct way to do it is. And again, they can forget my corrections, but if they're coming every week and getting feedback directly, then that is it's going to sink in eventually. They're going to be able to hopefully certainly improve aspects of their writing as a result of all the corrections. So that's my senior business writing class on Mondays at 1 o'clock, and it's hopefully going to serve the seniors well in the future to have this class. So that is pretty much the explanation of the class. I encourage questions, and I always am happy when students are, wondering about how to write better, and certainly I can, help them with that. I find that students often have not gotten enough instruction on their writing. It's sort of the last skill, right, that gets addressed. The most important skill for these students is speaking. Speaking and listening English is really the most important, obviously, and being able to, have good communication skills. Oral and verbal is sort of the top priority, but listening, speaking, reading, writing as well. But the reading part is always, something that's easy to work on, so they're usually stronger with that. I do tell students that they need to work on their reading. If they want to improve writing, they must, even read children's books. That's a big thing I talk about. Reading kids' books to help with your basic writing, right? So the idea is that every day for at least 10 minutes, students should be reading something, and, easier books are better. I often recommend readers available at the library or bookstores, because they're at levels, right? So you can choose level 1, read all the level 1 books, go to level 2, read those, and you're very, very much, going in steps and improving in a very, clear way. You can see how you're improving that way, as opposed to just grabbing any books you see and probably it's going to be too hard, maybe it'll be too easy. You need to have books at your level. So that's another big part of improving writing, is working on reading skills, so the reading is actually better. So that's another thing I'm always telling students, and hopefully it sinks in. And I think a few of them are doing it. They've told me they are. And, it's such a minor change, like 10 minutes per day is not much time. Most of us have that much time. And often if you, read before bed, that's a good time. And, this habit will have a huge impact on all of your English, and including your writing, and it'll improve every part of it. So anyway, that's my class, and thank you for watching this video.